Here are 5 reasons why you need to pick up the Sunbearer Trials. Hello, fellow book nerds. This is Gabby, and today we're talking about the Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. So, if you don't know what this series is, it's just a video where I tell you 5 reasons to read a book. This time, it's this one, and we're gonna start off with Synopsis. In Sunbearer Trials, we follow Theo, who is a 17-year-old trans son of the goddess of birds. So in this world, the Mayan gods are true, and when the world was created, they were created the gods, the strongest of the gods, who have dominion over big things, like all of the animals or the sun and stuff like that. Well, the sun is its own god, but anyway. Then we have the Jades, who are slightly less powerful, but more kinder, in touch with the humanity. And they are like Theo's mother, who is a daughter of birds. And then we have Obsidians, who are evil and want power, who were cast out thousands of years ago by the god Sol, and they are trapped within the stars. But once every 10 years, there has to be a trial, a Sunbearer trial. So it's a series of competitions of like strength and ability, and the winner becomes the Sunbearer, who has to go from town to town to refill Sol's protection. And then we have the loser, who gets brutally murdered. I'm joking. It's just a knife to the heart, it's fine. So the loser's sacrifice is what restores the sacrifice, the protection spell or whatever. So we are opening with Theo, and the Sunbearer Trials are about to begin. He doesn't think he'll be picked because it's never Jades, it's always more powerful children of golds. But to everyone's surprise and my shock, he is chosen and becomes part of the competition. Synopsis done. We're gonna talk about the 5 reasons now. Let's go. Some of these will not be as crisply defined as others, and I beg that you forgive me. I just loved this book, but it was hard to define in 5 succinct points. So my first reason is a vivid and beautiful world. Think El Dorado, think Encanto, like vivid, beautiful colors, animals, plants, everything's just so beautiful, vibrant, and colorful. And that's kind of the world we're living in. And it's all coexisting in such a beautiful way with the nature and the gods and humans. And it's just all so wonderful to see and beautiful to experience. I love being in this world. And then also we have this interest in the hierarchy of the gods and how that world is set up and how they interact with mortals, and kind of like how Theo's perspective is versus the gold children, who are kind of like the heroes, the heralds of like heroism or whatever. And I just really love discovering this world and being in it and finding out new things about it and just experiencing it. It was just so wholesome and amazing. And my second point is that this story is just so wholesome. For some reason, that's the world I keep thinking of. It's just so beautifully done. It's a story about friendship, about sacrifice, about growing. The main characters got such good morality without feeling like they're preaching to us. It's wonderfully done. It has beautiful friendships where you just cannot help but care about the relationship, care about them, the main character, the enemies, even that. It's just, everyone felt so vivid but also wholesome and like a real person, which I really appreciated. This is a YA, but it's so well done. Everyone's so well fleshed out, and it all feels just like I'm reading a beautiful story with, yes, sad turns, danger, excitement, but at its core, it's just a good story, like morally good, but also just good. I don't know if that made any sense. But my point number 3 was that it feels like reading a Percy Jackson book, but more mature. And I don't know, this was initially 2 points, but I couldn't think of a 5th point, so just go here with me. But I feel like this book is perfect for Percy Jackson fans. It just feels this like demigod, semi-dios, that's what they call them, demigod feel to it. There's kind of like, maybe not a school, but there's competition, and it's kind of like Hunger Games because one of them's gonna die, but it's not really Hunger Games because it's actually of skill and not just like butchering each other to death. It just really gives me vibe of Percy Jackson books. but mature writing, mature setting, mature characters. Not like in adult sense, but just like in a proper teenager where, you know, Percy Jackson, when they start off, they're kind of kids, and the way the book is written feels like it's written for middle grade, because it is. But this one, it just, you know, it's just got that amazing feel, that adventure, but adult, not adult, why? Yeah, young adults. Reason number 4 is fun and adventurous. So this book was just so much fun. I loved it. The trials were exciting. Were filled with tension. You never know how the main character does. The main character is never, you know, whatever the male version of Mary Sue is. They're just filled with like purpose and driven, but also like ambitious, but also filled with the need to protect their friends. I just loved Theo. I think he was such a great main character, and I loved the story that it was the fact kind of like him coming into himself as a trans boy. I really loved that. And yeah, they're just fun. I felt like an adventure. It felt like an adventure ride, a wild ride that I really loved every moment of being on it. And then my reason number 5 would be that it's filled with diversity. So we have trans main character, and I think the exploration of his transness was amazing, because when he was born with the female wings, you know, of a female bird. Now that he's realized he's trans and come out as a boy, his wings are kind of suffering, and he binds them, so there's an element of a binder, but it's kind of different than the usual. And then, you know, the wings are just a beautiful exploration of dysmorphia, and like such a great metaphor. I really loved it. It was done so well and beautifully, and just like made you feel so many emotions when the main character finally embraced it, and it was just gorgeous to see. The main character is also gay, but there's plenty of gay secondary characters, supporting characters. There's lots of non-binary characters, trans characters, and the most wonderful part is that they're all treated as equal, normal, accepted. There's no transphobia, there's no homophobia, and it's amazing and wonderful to see, and I really loved seeing that. I think just the wealth of experiences, of identities, all working together so well. I mean, there's several characters that I identify as they, them, and it's never weird, it's never like cumbersome or anything like that, you know, when people complain, or it's so weird through like the language or whatever. But this like it's just a good story, and it reads like a good story, but it's also filled with incredibly diverse, interesting characters, and I love that. I think that was just done so well, and I really truly love this book. I cannot wait for the sequel. I think it's gonna be so good. I think this is such an amazing installment in Aiden Thomas's career. I really liked Cemetery Boys, but I think this was even better. It was just knocked it out of the park. Everything was so strong about it. I would highly recommend, especially if you like YA, especially if you like Percy Jackson. I just think like it has those vibes. So, you know, high praise and recommendation from me. I think I'm gonna be gushing about this book for a long time, and I hope you pick it up. I don't know, let me know, did I convince you? Have you already read it and thought, this girl's talking sense, or maybe she isn't, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could comment, like, and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!